Let
Is anyone else
Daddy
waiting for, like-
decide.
Oh,
I love how Sean is unprepared for all of our sound bites. This is so good.
I listened to the show last night too.
Good job. I appreciate you.
Damn.
This one actually is for you, Sean. How do I become a video game producer?
I think my stock answer was suck at everything else in video game development.
That was your answer.
However, the real answer is a little bit complex, but let's say college is incredibly useful in this instance if you have the means to go. So if you go to college, and now a lot of programs actually have video game production as a bachelor's level degree that you can get. And that's very, very helpful because you can basically learn like basic project management, task tracking, all those good technical things that a producer needs to have. However, if you do not have the propensity for talking with people, figuring out very, very mundane questions, kind of like the stuff we were just talking about, like I have stock answers for all these things at cons. If that annoys you, you're not going to be a good producer, because that is a lot of the work, is that kind of interpersonal communication, sorting out tasks, figuring out basic things to incredibly advanced things to help your team. I figured out that I was really, really interested in and good at this because I'm working in retail and working in restaurants and working in theater and tending to take on those kind of roles just because I liked helping people out. So you need to have that very soft skill set that's not taught in school and have the propensity for, spreadsheets, organizational management, task tracking. From there, once you have the educational background, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to ask, how much technical skills do you have to be a video game producer?
Well, before you answer that, let's take a step back. What actually is a video game producer?
It changes company to company. So right now, I'm actually the program manager at Kings Isle Entertainment. So I'm considered a part of the production department, which is kind of encompasses what I was all just describing of task management and soft skills and all these things. If you were to just walk up to someone random in the games industry and say, what is a producer? They would most likely push towards that more dry management tracking side of things. But usually when you get into a company, that's a project manager. That's the person that handles all the hours and the employees and the stats and the sheets, the tickets and everything else. What I do is much more focused on the soft stuff. I tell people my superpower is you put me in a situation where no one knows what they're doing and ask me to figure it out and figure out how to do the thing. and that is oftentimes my job. I get embedded with different departments that are falling behind, that have issues with software or personnel or hitting goals or figuring out what their goals are. And I help them get oriented, straighten things out, find the software. Right now I'm learning my Microsoft Teams AI note generation for meetings and how we can use that, and then how that's going to help them, everyone having to send in weekly reports, because people don't like to do that.
Yeah.
So let the robots do it. How do we do that? I'm like, well, now I'm the robot manager. I'm robot HR.
You're the robot overlord?
Oh, man.
the overlord
dream
of the robots.
Yeah. That'd be like the Skeletor of robots. That's what I want.
I have blown everybody's mind at my job. I run the company, and I heard you. I'm ignoring you. But you talked about the AI and the notes, and when I had to do a policy for work, I would have to go find. Fortunately, there's an EMS company that published their whole entire handbook and everything, so I can go there. But I have to go there, search for the type of policy I'm looking for, copy it, paste it, go really, really read it, make sure it's not saying anything I don't need, edit it for myself. It's hours of work to then have another set of eyes look at it because I looked at it too long, to then publish it for work to become one of our policies. And then Chat GPT came around, and I started saying, write me a policy for and I refined how I asked, but it takes this ugly paragraph and just formats it for business, and then I go in and very quickly can check and change the titles and everything else I need to do and publish. And one day I'm in a meeting with the owner and another chief, and hey, we need a policy on this. And like 2 minutes later, I emailed it to him like, how are you writing things so fast? Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I did tell him.
It's a trade secret.
Yeah.
Trying to prove that I need a raise.
Yeah. But now I've taught all my managers that, because everybody I work with, as you can imagine, I've attracted a team that is very personable. Everybody has different strengths and balances each other out, but we all are talkers. We all are thinkers. And so that kind of tends to lack the professional writing level. Like we just kind of on the page like we talk. So I've taught every last one of them, oh, check this out. And they're like, this is a game changer. So I know, just feed in your crap and out comes this memo or this professional email or all this other stuff. It's amazing. And they're all troublemakers like me, Rando Kid says. We are the island of misfit toys, and it works really well. I like it. So all right, but coming back to producer. So you've had to do some of the Excel sheet stuff. Now you're there, you're that producer really is the appropriate title for what you do, because producers are there to make the show run smoothly and to get to the goal that's been envisioned. And when you say, well, they can't figure it out, and you're making those dots and connecting and coming up with solutions, that's the heart of your role now, is more or less being a problem solver.
And I love it. Like I lucked out into this particular production role. I'll say I lucked out. It took me like 14 years. 14 years of schlepping. But it's one of my favorite things to do is to have that kind of engagement and to have it change. You know, I don't do the same thing every 2 months. It goes from team to team, to project to initiative to initiative. And it's the right thing for my brain to be doing. So I like it.
Well, and what I really like there is you say 14 years. What that tells me is dedication and hard work. And that is universal, regardless of what you want to do. Dedication and hard work will help you regardless of what career path you want to take.
For sure. And it is that, and it's knowing what you want to do and just showing up. I mean, so I guess that is dedication, sorry. But it's if I know people that have been trying to get into games for 20 years and they're still not there. And that can be sometimes not necessarily focusing, or it could be just a lack of luck. But it's like every other project-based business, theater, movies, TV. There's probably other ones, but this and video games are what I know. You just keep showing up, and you keep schlepping, and you keep trying, and you keep doing. And even if you're not getting paid to do it, you go find other avenues to do it, to keep your practice up, to keep your skills up.
Yeah. And that's actually good advice for anything you truly want to do. As we all know, this is my 20th year of digital media, and there's something coming up this year that I can't talk about yet. So John keeps cracking me up. So he's having adult juice right now, but like one time he ducked just below his name tag on the screen to drink so nobody would see it. This time he held up a Bud Light rag, which is hilarious. One of our Patreon levels, go to patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy, and you can be a Scotch Katir, which AI helped me come up with that name. And that's a level where you apply. I think it's $13 an episode. It's some random number, but that's where you pledge at that level. When you meet me in real life, we'll cheers with the Scotch together of typically of your choosing. I mean, I'm not going to go over like $50 for the shot, but well, I'll be generous. Yeah. I'm generous, guys. I know there's some out there's like, I want the 40-year-old McKellen. I was like, yeah, nobody. That $13 pledge level does not get us a 40-year-old McKellen. Thank you very much.
Keep pledging for the next 50 years. How about the 50-year mark?
It's making me laugh. And it made me forget what I was saying. So there we go. There's a good question. Random Kid says, have you produced any video games that I have heard of?
So that used to be one of my least favorite questions, because no, you'd never heard any of it. But finally,
you start listing them. Honestly,
that's true. So the company I work for now, and the one that you most likely would have heard of, is Wizard 101. It came out 15 and a half years ago. was massively OP, rated game of the year on like every website and rating thing, won video game awards. It was aimed at as an MMO for kids, and now because it's been out for so long and a lot of those kids now actually work for our company or are adults and have kids, it's kind of a label as an all ages kid friendly MMO. So kind of think like Shrek, where it's written for kids, but there's some adult humor in there, if you know, Star Wars references. Woo! So I work on that game. I work on Wizard 101. We actually just announced a month or two ago that we're coming out with a new single player game. So that's on Steam. We should list it now. I didn't even say the name of it though. So we have those, and then I won an award for a tabletop RPG game engine that I helped develop and publish. Gosh, that was in 2019. It was the Critical Strength engine based on social emotional learning skills. And then a lot of indie games.
What about some voiceover stuff?
Voiceover. So I do a lot of commercial stuff. And it's random. Pella Windows was my favorite because my last house was all Pella Windows. I had them installed. I was like, adult money, yay! I'm the voice of the staff training videos for MagFest. For anyone that's into that music and gaming festival up in DC. Let's see. I'm on the pilot for a cartoon called Very Special. Bill Meeks is the producer and the creator of that show. Currently looking for what do you call it? Just distribution, but you can actually go see it on his website. Right. Podcast for voiceovers, dramatic voiceover podcast type stuff. I almost called it Vampire Diaries. Oh my gosh. The Dracula radio play, which they took all the diary entries from Bram Stoker's Dracula, put them in chronological order, made that a play. Oh man, there's more stuff.
Here's another one. Do you ever voice any of the characters in the video games that you produce?
Oh yeah, I'm actually in Wizard 101. I don't know how many characters anymore, but Benedict von Brutus, who's a bulldog in the Wallaroo expansion, or maybe it was Novus for Wizard 101. It's the voice that literally came with this mustache. I just killed the last African white rhino. It was quite a rush. That kind of voice. That wasn't the line from the game, by the way. That's just what I imagined that voice would say.
Oh my goodness.
We were on the African savannah. My God, it was quite hot.